नमस्कार। आज Today we will discuss about Sarojini Naidu, the great Indian poetess. Introduction of the poetess. Sarojini Naidu was an Indian political activist and poet, a proponent of civil rights, women's emancipation, and anti imperialistic ideas. She was an important figure in India's struggle for independence from colonial rule. Naidu's work as a poet earned her the sobriquet the Nightingale of India or Bharat Kokila. Naidu's poetry includes both children's poems and other written on more serious themes including patriotism, romance, and tragedy. Published in 1912 in the Bajaras of Hyderabad, remains one of her most popular poems. She was married to Govinder Julu Naidu, a general physician, and had 5 children with him. Her personal life. Sarojini Naidu was born in Hyderabad to Aghorenath Chattopadhyay, a Bengali Brahmin who was the principal of the Nizam's College in Hyderabad. Her parental home was at Brahmangaon, Bikrampur, Dhaka, West Province, that is present day called Brahmanbita, Tongiwari, Munshigan, Bangladesh. Her father, Aghorenath Chattopadhyay, with a doctorate of science from Edinburgh University, settled in Hyderabad, where he administered Hyderabad College, which later became Nizam College in Hyderabad. Her mother, Barada Sundari Devi Chattopadhyay, was a poet and used to write poetry in Bengali. She was the eldest. She was the eldest of the 8 siblings. Her brother Birendranath Chattopadhyay was a revolutionary, and another brother Harendranath was a poet, a dramatist, and an actor. Their family was well regarded in Hyderabad, not only for leading the Nizam College of Hyderabad but also in Hyderabad's most famous artist at that time. Being an artist in the era of British rule in India was considered a risky career, yet, with their progressive values, they pursued them anyway. Her education. Sarojini Naidu, having passed her examination from the University of Madras when she was 12, took 4 year break from her studies. In 1895, HEH, the Nizam's charitable trust founded by the 6th Nizam, Mehboob Ali Khan, gave her a chance to study in England, first at King's College, London, and later at Gayton College, Cambridge. Marriage. Sarojini met Padipati Govindhar Julu Naidu, a physician, at the age of 19. After finishing her studies, she married him. At that time, intercaste marriages were not as common as they are today, but both their families approved their marriage. As Sarojini was from Bengal, while Padipati Naidu was from Andhra Pradesh. This was an inter-regional marriage of East and South India with two different cultures. The couple had 5 children. Their daughter Padmaja also joined the independence movement and was part of the Quit, Quit India movement. She was appointed the governor of state of Uttar Pradesh soon and after Indian independence. Political career, early works. Naidu joined the Indian independence movement in the wake of a partition of Bengal in 1905. She soon met other such leaders as Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, and was inspired to work towards attaining freedom from the colonial regime and social reform. Between 1915 and 1918, Naidu traveled to different regions in India, delivering lectures on social welfare, emancipation of women, and nationalism. She also helped to establish the Women's Indian Association in 1917. She joined later in 1917. Naidu also accompanied her college colleague Annie Besant, who was the president of Home Rule League and Women's Indian Association, to present the advocate universal suffrage in front of the Joint Select Committee in London, United Kingdom. Naidu was Naidu again went to London in 1919 as a part of the All India Home Rule League. As a part of her continued efforts to advocate for freedom from the British rule, upon return to India in 1920, she joined Gandhi's Satyagraha movement. Naidu said in her address, "In the battle of liberty, fear is one unforgivable treachery and despair, the one unforgivable sin." Naidu also presided over East African and Indian Congress 1929 session in South Africa. Naidu was arrested during along with other Congress leaders including Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Madan Mohan Malviya for participating in 1930 Salt March. The Indian National Congress decided to stay away from the first round table conference that took in London owing to the arrest. In 1931, however, Sarojini and other leaders of the Congress party participated in second round table conference headed by the Viceroy Lord Irwin in the wake of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Sarojini was one of the major figures to have led the civil disobedience movement and the Quit India movement led by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, called Mahatma Gandhi. She faced she faced repeated arrestings by the British authorities during that time and even spent over 21 months, means 1 year 9 months, in jail. Governor of United Provinces. Following India's independence from the British rule in 1947, Naidu was appointed as the governor of United Provinces, means present day Uttar Pradesh, making her India's first woman governor. She remained in office until her death in March 1949. Her writing career. Sarojini began writing at the age of 12. Her play, Mahir Munir, written in Persian, impressed the Nizam of Kingdom of Hyderabad. In 1905, her first collection of poems named The Golden Threshold was published. The volume bore an introduction by Arthur Symons. Her poems were admired by prominent Indian politicians like Gopal Krishna Gokhale, and at least one was set to music by American composer Helen Searles Westbrook. Naidu's poem In the Bazaars of Hyderabad was published as a part of The Bird of Time with her other poems in 1912. In the Bazaars of Hyderabad was well received by critics who variously noted Naidu's visceral use of rich sensory images in her writing. The Feather of the Dawn, which contained poems written in 1927 by Naidu, was edited and published posthumously in 1961 by her daughter Padmaja Naidu. Moreover, her poem The Gift of India is also noteworthy for its patriotism and the actual environment of the 1915 India. Death and legacy. Naidu died of cardiac arrest at 3:30 p.m. on 2 March 1949 at the Government House in Lucknow. Upon her return from New Delhi on 15 Feb, she was advised to rest by her doctors and all official engagements were cancelled. Her health deteriorated substantially and bloodletting was performed on the night of 1st March after she complained of severe headache. She died after collapsing following a fit of cough. Naidu was said to have asked the nurse attending to her to sing to her at about 10:40 p.m., which put her to sleep. She subsequently died, and her last rites were performed at the Gomti River. Analyzing her political legacy, in English writer philosopher Aldous Huxley wrote, "It was it has been our good fortune while in Bombay to meet Mrs. Sarojini Naidu, the newly elected president of All India Congress, and a woman who combines in the most remarkable way great intellectual power with charm, sweetness with courageous energy, a wide culture with originality, and earnestness with humor. If all Indian politicals are like Mrs. Naidu, then the country is fortunate indeed." Golden Threshold. The Golden Threshold is an off-campus annex of University of Hyderabad. The building was the residence of Naidu's father Aghornath Chattopadhyay, the first principal of Hyderabad College. It was named after Naidu's very first collection of poetry. Golden Threshold now houses Sarojini Naidu School of Arts and Communication of University of Hyderabad. During the Chattopadhyay family's residence, it was the center of many reformist ideas in Hyderabad in areas ranging from marriage, education, women's empowerment, literature, nationalism. Especially the reformist ideas included more power for women in a time where politics in India, especially regional politics, was dominated by men. It also included ideas for involvement for women in the arts field. There were also many restrictions on marriage during this time period that persist to this day, such as inter-regional and intercaste marriages. These ideas were progressive for the era but brought a change in India in slow ways over time. Thank you so much.